Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and give a warm Arkansas welcome for U.S. Congresswoman Marjorie.
All right, can you hear me now? Wow. All right, Arkansas, I'm so happy to be here with you guys, and also want to thank the man that made that video. Wow.
Skip Thomas.
Great job. Great job. What an incredible group. You all are fantastic, and I'm thrilled to be here with you all. And watching that video, I was like, I can't believe all of that happened in less than 4 years. And it's coming up on 4 years that I've been a member of Congress, and wow, I've been a Trump supporter since day one, and that's been a fun ride. We've got less than 60 days until November 5th, so let's walk through where we are as a country, shall we? I wrote a lot of this in my book. I know you all are here and you're getting a copy of my book. I thank you. I ask you to read it. That there are incredible stories in there. It's history. We are living in some of the most unbelievable times. So let's talk about where we are. In the past 4 years, since I've entered Congress, January 3rd, 2021 was my first day in Congress. I started to be attacked by the national news media like it was unbelievable. It was constant spotlight, hot fire, the press in my face, cameras, microphones, lies about me in the news, headlines that my friends and family were shocked at. They were like, they're constantly lying about you. And it was unbelievable. And then the third day of my job, and I write about this in the book, the third day on the job for me, and by the way, you all, I had never served in any type of public office when I became a member of Congress. So I walked out of a very normal life, just like you all. I'm not kidding, just like you all. I still am, a regular person, owned and operated a construction business that was our family business, raised 3 children, my goodness, had such a wonderful life, ran for Congress fully believing that I would be in Washington, D.C., helping President Trump pass his agenda because I was pretty pissed off at Republicans for not passing his agenda. I was on the ballot with President Trump in November of 2020. I fully believe the election was stolen, by the way. After that election, I worked hard with my then future colleagues, organized and planned meetings to object to Joe Biden's Electoral College vote. That leads me to my third day on the job as a member of Congress. That was January 6th. January 6th was my third day on the job. And, you know, we were prepared, we had studied, we had talked to countless people, we had so much information, spoken to attorneys all over the country, had seen over 2,000 affidavits that voters, individual voters, not organized groups, not funded by anyone, had signed their name saying they witnessed voter fraud. I think that's pretty impactful. I believe people, you see? And when people, these were individual people, not being paid to do anything, it wasn't an organized group, and they were all signing these affidavits saying they witnessed voter fraud. I was like, pretty sure voter fraud happened. And, you know, I live in Georgia. You guys saw the videos of the Fulton County water main break, which led to shutting everything down, supposedly sending home a lot of Republicans, and then they were, you know, counting those ballots. I mean, we've seen it all. We've seen all the data, we've seen all the stories, and so January 6th was so interesting January 6th, we were in there and we were working through, ready to vote on each state. And all of a sudden, the House chamber went on lockdown. And I'm new there. I'm going, what's going on? And one of the sergeant-at-arms comes up to me and he says, ma'am, he says, you have the opportunity to either leave and go back to your office. And I said, I can't find my office by myself. Which was true. I couldn't find the bathroom, let alone my way back to my office. And the tunnel system is pretty intricate when you're first trying to learn your way around. And he said, or you can, we're locking the doors, you can stay in here. And I said, well, what's going on? And he says, there's been a breach of the Capitol. And I was like, what? Antifa and BLM are coming in here? And then somebody said, no, it's Trump supporters. And I said, no, it's not. I mean, they could not convince me that it was Trump supporters engaging in some sort of riot at the Capitol. You could not convince me of that. I argued with everybody. And so we go on lockdown in there, and I write about this in my book, and it was the craziest thing. So everything stopped. Democrats were like hiding on the floor. Republicans, we're all standing up, going, what the heck is going on? A total difference in behavior. And it was just something that I'll never forget. And so when they finally did take us out of the House chamber, some of us were running. Can you imagine Jerry Nadler running? Not a good sight. And the most ridiculous thing in the world was there was a lot of the Democrats had put on these crazy hoods that was, they told us to reach up under your chair and pull out this box and open it up. There's been gas is in the house, in the Capitol, and you've got to be careful. So you got to put this plastic bag on your head and turn a fan on. And I was like, my mom always said not to put a plastic bag on your head. I'm not doing that. But there were the Democrats over there, they had them on. I was like, well, stupid is stupid, So, and you can't even see through the plastic bag. That was the funny thing. So they're all running, it was crazy. So we get back and come to find out, what had happened. I finally got to see it on television later that night, and I hadn't seen it all day. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Now, there was some little bit of a riot and fighting on one side of the Capitol, and then everybody else was mostly peaceful. I thought that the news media and the Democrats were totally okay with mostly peaceful riots, right? Right? I personally remember President Trump's inauguration day in 2017, and the left nearly burned down Washington, D.C. Literally.